All right, folks, this is the watch list video for Thursday, February 20th. You can put that horizontal line there for the SPY. You can see we're kind of trying to break out here. If you weren't in chat today and you didn't see PLTR, which I was going to address in a little bit anyway, but it had a big sell-off, so you could kind of argue the market held up pretty well with that going on. But just let me give a couple hat tips before I go into what we're watching for tomorrow. I called REBN. I guess I shouldn't be hat tipping myself. I just called it over the early high. There was the opening high right there, 568. My thinking was if we light up the new highs ticker, you've got yesterday's high just above, and the whole number 6 was a pre-market high today. So you had kind of what stacked catalyst, right? So there's the entry, and we ended up getting to 630 before revisiting the entry. It was a neat little trade. Serve, whoops, let me try that again. SERV. Miguel gave this right there, over the high of day, over 1350, and that ended up going up to 1430. Really nice post by Miguel. HIMS, Kevin P, second mouse through 70, which was basically right there, and it went up about $3. JTAI, I gave this 5 buy zone, and I was also bidding below the whole number. I split my bid above and below. I got filled at 812. I also had a bid in I think the 790s or something, but I did post that in chat, posted the idea, and you know, for my fill at 812, it went to 1177. That's pretty awesome. I think there were some other calls in that stock as well. There's a few others, but I'm trying to bust through the highlights real quick. Let me slide this up. I know we've got a lot of new faces in chat. If you're a new face, pause the video and read that. It's a good description of what we're all about. I did tell someone today I was going to answer, somebody that's new asked a question if we post exact triggers and sell spots or targets or something along those lines. In other words, do we tell people when to buy and when to sell? And my answer to that is, first of all, you shouldn't want to follow anyone's exact buys and sells. But I do scale out on the way up as we kind of teach in our course, right? So it's almost arrogant to me for somebody to think they can run a room and say everybody, okay, sell it all here, right? Because anything can happen. It could go up another 50%, or it could roll over. So that's why we scale out and protect our entry once we do that. And the other thing I wanted to say to that person that asked the question today, we were DMing a little bit, is watch the free webinars. I sent you the link. There's a lot of free webinars that will help you get caught up. And I know it's homework, and I know people don't love having homework when they join a chat room. A lot of people just say, tell me when to buy and when to sell. But even if there is a room like that, you're not learning anything, right? I know a lot of people, hey, I just want to make money. But if you're going to trade for life, which most people who start out day trading kind of plan to do it for life, right? It's exciting, and it's good money when you learn a system. And that's not flying by the seat of your pants, right? So if you're interested in trading for life, you really do want to learn the setups that we teach. Take advantage of the Q&A if you can every day at 11:15. You can ask any questions about any call that anybody made, and if I don't know why they made a call, we'll ask them, one of the members, right? And we'll have them explain it. Usually I'll know, right? But learn to pull back, buy zone entries and that sort of thing too. It's going to take a little homework, but the webinars are worth it, and the Q&A is also a big part of that. All right. Let me go into what we're watching for tomorrow. I'll do it in the order I have them written. So CELH, I believe they report tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's before or after hours, but that's a nice pop. And there's a lot of shorts in this name, and this thing's really beaten up. Could certainly have a continuation tomorrow. If they report in pre-market, then that could change everything. So I'm not sure which one, if it's pre-market or after hours, or even not even positive it's tomorrow. DOMH has been a recent high flyer and actually put in a nice candle today. I do think that is worth keeping our eyes on. PLTR, I want to watch because of that big intraday sell-off. If I switch to 5-minute candles, you can really see the nastiness of that sell-off, right? So that is one to keep an eye on, and that whole space of AI. SLDB, kind of an interesting chart with the gap up yesterday, selling off, but then today putting an inside candle on a green day. That one's definitely in play. ATYR, kind of a sleeper pick, but I'll put the horizontal line at the most recent high, and nice volume today, right? And you can see it's trying to break out. So I think it deserves to be watched. JTAI, Big breakout today. I traded that a couple times on pullbacks. Definitely want to watch that one probably for the next 5 days or so. EFOI volume really dropped off today, but at the end of the day, it still put in an inside candle, so we want to watch that one. OSCR, another kind of sleeper pick, but had this spike and then an inside day, and the 200-day is pretty close above. You don't see it on this chart, but it's part of the reason I'm watching it. AIFF did have the gap down. I did make a call on this one today. I didn't make anywhere near what I wanted to, but it was a green trade. Anyway, we did put in a green candle. Remember, they had this huge move and then the pullback and then a green candle. So we could have a follow-through day of today's bounce tomorrow. CSAI, again, I talked about this in the video last night. Crazy move here. And now a couple days lower. And look how, this might be the most narrow day it's ever had. Maybe this one. But to me, that's weird when it had this kind of range. Went from 1770 to 52 in one day, right? And then a couple days later, it's all the way down at 10 or whatever. I'm surprised it had that kind of narrow range, but it did not give a trigger today as a bounce play. So we watch it again tomorrow, right? TTD, another one that's just looking for a snapback bounce. No triggers in it today. APPS, I'm almost done here. Just goes back on bounce watch. BBAI, same thing, goes back on bounce watch. And then XOS, may be worth watching tomorrow. In after hours, it's trading at 436. If it's still gapping, and they did have a nice headline, it looked like. If it's still gapping in the morning, that goes on the gap playlist. I've talked way too long. I'll see y'all in pre-market tomorrow, and we'll add to our gap playlist when we see what's gapping in the morning. Have a good night.